It's right in front of the lens.
The demonic nun in the world of The Conjuring became extremely popular, and it became very apparent to us that we want to explore her origin more and see how she eventually made her way into the lives of the Warrens.
How can we help?
With this film, I just wanted to dig in more into the myth or the theories of what her origins could be.
And going to old Europe really gives the demon nun like this sort of ancient evil quality to her.
You are the only person alive who has dealt with something like this. The church would like you to investigate.
There was the creepiness to it. We needed that feel that works perfectly for a horror film, but we were able to find, even in beautiful southern France, locations that give us that grit and that eerie feel.
Maurice?
Save me, sister.
I loved taking Maurice, who was a fish out of water called Frenchie in Romania, and bringing him to a place that could be home. So a lot of that choice of shooting in France was based on his character.
All my conversation with Michael from the beginning was mostly about what we could find in France. He was really specific about the period.
It was really important to me that we stay honest to the country and the time period and all of these little details, because it makes for a better horror movie. It makes for a scarier experience if you really believe what you're seeing.
This director likes authenticity. His vision is a really good point of view because with his eyes, he rediscovered the south of France.
I have a reservation.
I'm afraid I can't find it.
We're not just a couple of nuns running around Europe. We are here on a mission.
For this movie, we were shooting in the real towns in the story.
I wanted someone who lived through the time to see it and say that was exactly how it was.
We've got so many buildings that are still preserved from the 14th century where we can shoot, where things that have been rebuilt and preserved.
It's an extremely special thing to be able to film on location where the story is actually set.
Aix-en-Provence is a very old city and very old buildings as well. We don't have much to do to recreate the 1950s.
Aix-en-Provence is beautiful. There's so much beautiful architecture. It's really cool to just be able to not only do what you love, but do it in a different place in the world.
You can use the buildings, the roads. It brings an atmosphere.
Being on location is so much cooler than in a studio. It feels more realistic, more authentic.
There's an energy that sometimes is hard to recreate on stages. This absolutely felt like we were immersed in the 50s in France, especially filming in these little side streets, all the people in their costumes running by. It's fun to be transported back in time.
Pretty awesome, right? Movie magic.
Every building has been built upon another building.
Is it still a monastery?
No, it's a boarding school.
Like the St. Mary's School that we were shooting in, it was abandoned. But before that, it actually was a school. And before that, it was a convent.
There are wine cellars, there are passageways, there are staircases, there are bits that have been burnt down. And that means that the walls are full of atmosphere and story and history.
The art department was able to enhance the feeling of this school and this old rundown abbey.
I'm creeped out just being here. You really feel like you're in the era and within the universe that this film is set.
I think we've been incredibly fortunate because we have managed to have lots of different location sets within one building, which is very unusual. We're able to be in one place, hop between different scenes, but also we have this rich atmosphere and feeling where we're filming.
It was very good to shoot this one at home. Felt very comfortable.
It's funny to be able to walk into a place that you can sense has so much history, and then you look around the corner and it's just camera equipment and dollies and lights. We're lucky to be able to have the location and have such a talented crew and art department to make our sets look so hauntingly beautiful. It's just been an out-of-this-world experience.
Nun is just one of those iconic movie monsters. You see her on a poster and you see a little bit of throwback to Dracula, a little bit of Nosferatu. She's so timeless and has such an iconic look. She's one of the ultimate horror movie icons, and with this film, I just wanted to take her further. I wanted to explore the manifestations.
Right.
I love the idea of the Conjuring universe in Europe, and I love vintage magazines and vintage newspapers. Nothing is more like a relic of the past than a newsstand. And I was like, I'm sure we could do something with that. Demons are masters of deceit and take any form. I think that that's one of the things that's most exciting about these movies is it's really limited only by your imagination and whatever you can make to be the scariest. But a lot of it came from just photographic research, just digging into a whole bunch of pictures from both France and Spain in the 1950s. And I kept on seeing these old vintage newsstands, and I just loved it. It's hard to commit to practical effects. There's so many well-meaning discussions about should this be a CG creature. And I really feel like audiences feel it when they see it.
We're gonna do a couple passes with wind, without wind.
The big thing that I wanted to do was just make it as real as we could get. And we did so many different explorations with it, but ultimately it really feels of the period, and it's a sequence that you've never seen before.
Cool. Reset.
Cedric the Altar Boy came out of an image that I saw of this altar boy in the street in a funeral procession, and he had the thurible that holds the incense. The street was smoky and the thurible was smoky. And it looked so beautiful and so creepy at the same time.
Mark.
I just thought the altar boy would be a really iconic character and authentic to the time.
Cedric.
Valak takes many forms, and the demon goat is one of them.
Demon goats, oh my God. Listen, you like to be freaked out. You like creepy things. We got it all.
The rumor is, if you look away, the devil will appear in the form of a monstrous goat.
They say that if you stand at the right place, at the right time, the sun shines through the window and makes the ghost's eyes glow red, and that is the devil.
Whatever you do, whatever you hear, don't look away.
The kids had these theories and these ghost stories, and I really connected to that. I remember growing up with ghost stories. There's something very universal about that.
You're a little high. Can you go lower?
I think there's something great about just an old school monster.
Stop. That's it.
The main rule is that you can't ever turn your back on the goat.
We knew that it had to come to life, and the big question is, what does that look like?
So the demon goat is an amazing character because that creature is a man in a costume.
What the hell?
My name is Aaron John North. I'm playing the demon goat.
AJ, if you close your eyes, could you feel the light on you? I almost wonder if you kind of like... Yeah, like that. That's good.
I wanted something that was absolutely practical effects and as real as we could get.
Welcome to the Goat Maker. It's created by the wonderful FX team with Guillaume and Fred. The face, it's made up of many composite parts so that I can articulate my mouth, I can move my eyebrows. The teeth are very sharp, but they help my face and my mouth be more goat-like or more animal-like. Voila.
We had this incredible team in France, and it was representative of the entire French crew, where they were treating it as art. And making art in France, it's one of the highest callings. The detail that went into the makeup effects, it was incredible. It was just another level. Even things that you weren't gonna see were amazing.
My costume involves many different intricate pieces. The effects move with me. There's nothing mechanical there, it's actually me moving. We have specialist arm extensions built by Creature Bionics that will help me specifically move around on my arms, gives me that Predator vibe. The whole process takes around 4 hours.
Probably 5% of the image is digitally enhanced, but everything that you're seeing there is a real actor. AJ is an incredible creature performer and has incredible endurance. He was running for days in this scope contraption.
Michael and I explored a lot of the different animalistic movements in the running and in the creeping so that we could really bring that fear into the movement.
It's kind of great because it's like you really are camouflaged. Okay, here we go, guys.
The reason I want to do it practical, honestly, it's just more fun having it on set. When you see it and it's moving through the shadows, you know when you're getting scared, then people are going to get scared. When the kids are seeing it, they're getting terrified. It helps the performances.
When you've got the tangibility of something really there, you believe it can exist.
I feel like keeping it real, audiences feel the difference. Directing movies is such a privilege.
Great, reset.
I was so lucky to get to work with these amazing craftspeople and these incredibly unique sequences and moments and scares and demonic forms that we haven't seen before.
But it's been great, guys. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. What a great show.